Hello there, my name is Valerie White Williams and I would like to welcome you to my new channel, Cosmic Splendor. And this is a channel where I discuss astrology, spirituality, and being safe in our world right now. So today I'm going back to my feature of the sun in the houses. And this week we're talking about the sun in the third house. Now let me just give you an overview of what the houses are. The houses are basically 12 positions. It's kind of like a clock and around the horizon. So when you're born, there's certain planets above the sky and then certain planets below the sky. Each of the 12 houses correspond to the astrology signs. So there's a correlation on that. So in general, let's just talk about the house positions. Everything above the horizon is what we call the community house. Community houses, where we're focused on the greater community. Everything below is focused on your personal life and your personal relationships. We also can divide the astrology chart in half, right and left. And the right side of the chart, even though it's opposite when I'm doing this, is going to be more of the social side, dealing with other people. And then on the left side of the chart, it's more introverted. It's more of a personal, not just personal, but in the background, I guess, more of the introverted side. So right now we're talking about the third house. Third house is in the lower half, so it's personal, and it's also on the more introverted focus, which is more focused on self. And when I say that's focused on self, it's not that you're egotistical or you're like rude. I don't really agree that certain house positions or signs are good and bad. It's all about what you're sharing and how you manage it and what you're doing with that. So let's talk about the third house in particular. So the third house is kind of related to Gemini because it's the third house as far as Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So the third house is really about some of the qualities that's related to Gemini, which is communication and siblings and short-term travel and early studies and thinking. So people who have the sun in the third house tend to have a perspective that they want to communicate. They're the communicators, they're the speakers. They have something to say and they usually have a clear identity. So it's really interesting to see the people in the third house, they have a unique perspective that they are sharing, that are unique just from their inner person. Now, I like to look at the opposite. So the opposite of the third house is the ninth house. And so they're kind of related because the third house is that personal. The ninth house, we're in, of course, the community. So third house, a lot of people are writers, they are performers, they have a certain identity that's right up front. They have an expression, they have a point of view that they are coming from. So it's very personal. What they are sharing and communicating is coming from a personal space. Where we look at the ninth house, it's not personal. It's more philosophy and religion and history and the worldview. So the worldview is more important. In the ninth house, it's related, but the third house, it's very personal. It's very much, this is how I feel, this is my perspective. So a lot of people with a third house feel driven to communicate in ways like artists, like performers. I have a perspective, I'm gonna share my art with you. Or I'm a writer. Like I think Stephen King, I heard, had sun in the third house. That's a perfect example, very unique. And people who have sun in the third house have a unique perspective. They're not like everybody else. That's what they are working on, is this is me, this is my perspective, I'm going to share it and communicate it. And I'm gonna stand by it, because this is my unique perspective to the world. So the thing about the sun is I need to remind you, the sun isn't always gonna be easy. Sometimes the sun is something that we're learning to do, because the sun is our gift to the world and how we shine to others. So for the third house people might be shy. They might have to struggle a bit to allow themselves to share their thoughts and their perspective. They might struggle with being heard. They might struggle with, like, they're a writer and they want to be published and they want to get out their ideas to the world. So typically it takes a while. Usually people, when they're young, they struggle with that mission that they came to life to share. And so it takes time. Sometimes you have to go through the Saturn return to really go, okay, I'm ready to do it. I'm going to jump into my mission and I'm going to publish, I'm going to share my perspective. Now, not everybody's going to be a writer. Some people are going to be a speaker, and some people are just going to share their thoughts with people and their perspective, which is very unique and personal to share with the world. So that is the third house. Now, we're also going to take the sun sign in that house. So the sun sign is going to make a different perspective. So Leo in the third house might be more, has a bigger picture, more of a fixed view, versus Pisces, which is going to be more sensitive and more mystical, perhaps. So I forgot to mention, when it comes to the sun signs and the houses, I want to backtrack a bit. I look at the planets as like actors, and the actor is in a scene. So each of the house positions in the third house is like a movie scene or a movie set. So the third house people on that set are the writers, they're the communicators. There's someone that has something to say, the public speaker, and they are communicating their personal views and ideas and downloads. It's very personal, very unique, and that's what they're sharing. So the third house people need to, like, take strength and share their vision, share their gifts of their unique perspective, because that's what the world wants to hear. They need to hear that and feel it. And so thanks for the third house people, because they're the ones that are really putting themselves out there to share their uniqueness. All right. Thanks for the likes, shares, and subscribes. I so appreciate it. So you tell me, you third house sun people, does this resonate with you? Are you working on a novel to share with the world? How do you manifest that speaking, unique communication that the third house is gifted with? All right, I appreciate all the likes and shares, and I look forward to doing more videos with you. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care and bye.